Hello and welcome to the Green Infrastructure Center's Drug-Free Workplace presentation. This presentation is intended to provide information for new employees and updated training for current employees. We want to help you understand the company drug-free workplace policy, understand the impact of substance abuse in the workplace, understand addiction and the way people use alcohol and drugs, understand the signs and symptoms of substance abuse, and understand the options available for counseling or treatment. The Drug Free Workplace Act of 1988 covers some federal contractors and all federal grantees. The Green Infrastructure Center is both a federal contractor and a federal grantee. Under this act, organizations must publish and provide the drug-free workplace policy to all covered employees and establish a drug-free awareness program to make employees aware of the damages of drug abuse, the policy of maintaining our drug-free workplace, any available counseling available and employee assistance, as well as penalties that may be imposed for drug abuse violations. We also need to inform employees that as a condition of employment on a federal contract or grant, you must abide by the terms of this statement of policy and notify us within 5 calendar days if you are convicted of a criminal drug violation in the workplace. We have to notify the contracting agency within 10 days after receiving such notice. We may impose a penalty or require participation in a drug abuse assistance or rehab program, and we may make ongoing good faith effort to maintain a drug-free workplace by meeting the requirements of this act. So we want to accomplish two things: send a clear message to you that alcohol and drug use in the workplace is prohibited, and encourage employees who may have problems with alcohol or other drugs to voluntarily seek help. So the purpose of our program and our policy is to emphasize that you may not use drugs or alcohol in the workplace, and encourage, if you have a problem, to seek help. We want to ensure also to protect your health and safety, as well as the safety of our customers and the general public, protect our company from theft or destruction, maintain the quality of our products, presentations, workshops, tree plantings, etc., and comply with the Drug-Free Workplace Act of 1988. So we provide this to you at the time of your hire, annually, and whenever major changes are made. Consequences for violating the policy: you may receive punishment up to and including termination of employment, and you may be required to enroll in a drug abuse assistance or rehabilitation program. So when does this policy apply? It applies during all working hours, including work outside of the office. Many of you will be primarily working out in the field, and whenever you are conducting GIC business or representing GIC at an event. What behavior is prohibited? It is a violation to use, possess, sell, trade, or offer for sale alcohol, illegal drugs, or intoxicants, or even prescription and over-the-counter drugs. They are not prohibited when taken in standard dosage or according to a physician's prescription, but you may not distribute them to others and you may not abuse them yourselves. Industries that are most susceptible to these types of problems are those from the sectors of accommodations, food services, and constructions. Lowest rates occur in utilities, educational services, and public administration. So, people who abuse alcohol or drugs commonly neglect their nutrition, their sleep, and other basic health needs. Substance abuse weakens the immune system and it makes you more susceptible to illness. You may also be frequently late or missing work entirely. Substance abusers can be mentally or physically impaired while working. And this reduces your productivity, your job satisfaction, and increases errors while reducing the quality of our product. The one-year cost of substance abuse in the US is estimated at $185 billion. Businesses with high rates of substance abuse have much higher insurance premiums, and a substance abuser is 5 times more likely to file a work compensation claim. Let's talk about experimentation. That's one type of drug and alcohol use, may be used out of curiosity or at the urging of peers. Social and recreational, consumed during social or recreational meetings, or just stress release, using to cope with pressure or stress. And this type of use especially can lead to abuse or addiction. Substance abuse is the use of drugs or alcohol to control your mood or state of mind in a manner that is either illegal or harmful or both. Substance abuse commonly results in injuries, blackouts, legal troubles, family problems, poor job performance, and health problems. Health effects can include compulsive cravings combined with prolonged substance abuse, which can prompt physical consequences throughout your body. Most substances will strain the organs as well as the venous and respiratory systems after prolonged use. And many forms of addiction alter the user's physical makeup, sometimes even just after a few weeks. Physical effects can include organ damage, hormone imbalance, cancer, prenatal and fertility issues, gastrointestinal disease, HIV/AIDS, or hepatitis, often spread by unclean needles. People can abuse alcohol or drugs without being addicted, however. But addiction occurs when drugs and alcohol use cannot be controlled, regardless of its adverse consequences. For 1 in 10 people, substance abuse does lead to addiction. Addiction is chronic. It will not go away. It's for the rest of your life. It's progressive. It often gets worse over time. And disguised. Addicts will often hide their behavior and frequently deny their problems. People with a history of addiction in their family are most susceptible to addiction problems. For example, children of alcoholics or addicts are 3 times more likely to develop substance abuse problems. Past abuse of drug or alcohol make this addiction problem more likely. Signs of substance abuse: aggression, anxiety, depression, denial, paranoia, and anger. Other signs of substance abuse behavior: you might have these type of behaviors exhibited: being irritable, talking excessively, having a short attention span, a slow reaction time, slurred speech, poor coordination, or even lack of motivation. People with substance abuse also might have these physical symptoms: weight loss, sweating, chills. You may smell of alcohol, or you may develop skin problems. Alcohol is a legal drug, but it's also a depressant and the most common drug that's abused. Signs of alcohol abuse: reduced mental ability, poor coordination, slow reaction time, and bad judgment. Health effects: poor sexual function, liver disease, cancer risk, kidney disease, ulcers, and even birth defects. Specific drugs of abuse: marijuana. Although marijuana is legal in some places, the active ingredient in marijuana is THC. Signs of abuse are elevated heart rate, bloodshot eyes, dry mouth, increased appetite. Health effects: reduced memory and comprehension, altered senses, poor sense of time, respiratory and sinus infections. And while it is legal in some states, such as Virginia, it is still not allowed to be used by GIC employees during work or just before a work shift, as it can impair your judgment. Cocaine is also a powerfully addictive drug that leads to physical and physiological dependence. Signs of abuse include dilated pupils, elevated heart rate and blood pressure, hallucinations and insomnia, mood swings, and frantic activity followed by fatigue. Health effects: weakened immune systems, respiratory and heart problems, or even death. Inhalants. Inhalants are substances such as commercial and household products that are inhaled to get high. Signs of abuse: nausea, sneezing or coughing, nosebleeds, poor coordination, and loss of appetite. Health effects: brain damage, hepatitis, muscle fatigue, nervous system damage, and weight loss. Note that vaping is also not allowed during work hours or at the workplace. Vaping is also one of those practices that is legal, but we do not allow it, nor do we allow smoking of cigarettes. Stimulants. Stimulants such as meth affect the central nervous body system and excite the body. Signs of abuse, mood changes, poor concentration, reduced mental function, mood swings, and health effects. Elevated heart rate and breathing, high blood pressure, headaches and blurred vision, tremors, weight loss, and even physical collapse. Dealing with substance abuse. Key things to know. Enabling behavior occurs when someone tries to protect the person with the problem from the consequences of their action. This can include picking up the slack for work they don't do, lying for them, taking the blame for work issues, or avoiding the person. It's important to report suspected problems to a supervisor. Do not confront them with suspected abuse problems. Inform your supervisor of your concerns. Protect their privacy by not discussing your concerns with other employees unless safety or health is in danger. Seek help if you need it. Our company is concerned for the health and safety of all employees. If you have a substance abuse problem, seek help. You can report your problem and the company can help arrange for help. Here are some links that are available to you if you would like to seek help for alcohol abuse at Alcoholics Anonymous, narcotic abuse at Narcotics Anonymous, as well as other sources of help. Confidentiality. Substance abuse problems will not be made public. Any conversations with supervisors or other assistance workers are private and they are protected. Treatment referral will be kept separate from your employee performance record. So should you need to be referred for treatment, they will not be made part of your employment record. Employees, however, must notify our company within 5 calendar days of a workplace drug conviction. We must actually notify any of our contracting entities or grantors within 10 days of receiving a notice that an employee has been convicted of a workplace drug offense. The role of supervisors. Supervisors must maintain a safe and productive work environment for employees, evaluate performance and give feedback, and treat employees fairly and with respect. Supervisors are not expected to diagnose any drug or alcohol problems, provide drug and alcohol counseling, or act as a police officer. Crisis situations versus performance problems. Crisis situations are more serious than performance problems. They include dangerous or threatening behavior, obvious impairment due to drugs or alcohol, drug or alcohol possession, or illegal activity. Immediately contact management, the executive director or board chairman for crisis situations. Crisis situations may also require contacting the police or security on site. And be sure to document all of the observed behavior and interview witnesses. If we suspect an employee has a drug or alcohol problem that is affecting their work, we may invite you to a private area for a discussion, inquire about your behavior, inform you of our concern, and if you feel there is a problem or we feel there's a problem, notify your supervisor and consult the workplace drug and alcohol policy. In summary, the purpose of the drug-free workplace policy is to communicate to employees that drug and alcohol use in the workplace is prohibited and to encourage you to seek help if you have substance abuse problems. Workplace drug and alcohol use can damage employee health, reduce productivity, and increase business costs. The 3 levels of alcohol and drug use are use, abuse, and addiction. Employees should avoid enabling behavior, as it prevents people from having to deal with their problems and, most importantly, with getting help. Employees should not confront each other with suspected abuse problems. They should report it to their supervisor. All drug and alcohol treatment records are confidential and will be kept separate from employee performance records. If you have questions, you can see https /findtreatment.gov. Once employees complete this slideshow, you are directed to take a quiz and submit it to myself, Karen Firehawk, the GIC Executive Director. You will receive my email and also our HR Director's email in a follow-up email from this presentation. And also consult with myself, Ms. Firehawk, for questions or concerns about any topics covered by this course. As we said, you will receive that follow-up email for you to take a quiz, so we hope you've paid good attention. You are welcome to re-watch this video, but once the quiz begins, you must stop this recording and pay attention to the quiz. You may not have both open at the same time. Thank you very much for your good attention. I also want to make a note out of 2026. As of January 2026, cannabis is legal in 40 of the 50 states for medical use and 24 states for recreational use. In Rhode Island, it is legal for medical and recreational use and legal to grow and possess in certain amounts. And in Virginia, legal for medical and recreational use and was decriminalized in 2020. However, as we said, you may not use cannabis products on the job nor just before a shift. South Carolina has found it's a misdemeanor for recreational use and only CBD oil for medical use. And it is also allowed for severe epilepsy in children, and in Mississippi it is illegal, but also decriminalized in small amounts for recreational use. Again, you may not use these products while on the job or just before a shift. Despite these laws, as we said, no employer or volunteer may be on the clock or on the job site under the influence of a mind-altering substance, even if it has been medically prescribed. This creates a safety and liability hazard for all involved. If you suspect someone is under the influence, please refer to previous slides for next steps. Thank you for your good attention. We look forward to a productive and safe working relationship with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.